Okay, welcome back to our political science class session number 3 today. And today, in the morning session, we started the new chapter that is judiciary, and we discussed about the different aspects related to the judiciary, how to appoint the judges, and how to remove the judges. Okay, we just completed in the morning the powers of executive and legislature related with the appointment and the removal of the judges in the parliament. Right, that's what the last topic we discussed. Okay, completed that, and we started. Okay, the structure of courts in India, structure of courts in India, and we know that it's a pyramidical one. Okay, at the top, the Supreme Court, just below that, the high courts of the different states. Next to it is the district courts. Next to the last level, it is called to be the what kind of courts? The subordinate courts, subordinate courts. There, right? That's what the thing here we learned. So come back. Tell me the page number, please. Okay, so yeah, tell me 130. Yeah, 130, page number 130. Okay, so we discussed about the powers of the subordinate courts. Okay, and we discussed about the powers of the district court. We discussed about the powers of the high courts. Okay, so here high courts can hear appeal from the lower courts. We know that a person can go directly from the subordinate court to the high court, or subordinate court to the Supreme Court, subordinate court to the district court, right? Possibility is there. Basically, a person will not go for appeal to the district courts there. Okay, directly to the high court or a Supreme Court, right? Okay, just observe it clearly here. Okay, understand. Okay, so next one, high court can hear appeal from the lower courts, can issue writs for restoring fundamental, what you can say, fundamental rights, can deal with the cases within the jurisdiction of the state, exercise superintendence and control over courts below it. Okay, it can exercise superintendence, means it can observe what the lower courts are doing. Okay, next one we're discussing about Supreme Court here. Its decisions are binding all the courts. The decision that taken by the Supreme Court, that binding all other courts there, basically. Clear or not? So Supreme Court is connected with almost all the other courts there. So that's important. So Supreme Court. So an integrated judicial system is there. Single integrated judicial system. So all these courts are under the control of the Supreme Court of India. Supreme Court of India. So the Supreme Court can transfer judges of high courts, transfer judges of high courts, and it can move cases from any court to itself. Okay, clear or not? It can give a clear or a pass a writ or issue a writ to the lower courts to pass that case to the Supreme Court. Okay, clear or not? The case is not under the jurisdiction of a subordinate court. The Supreme Court will give or the Supreme Court will ask the subordinate court to pass the case to the Supreme Court. Okay, and it can move cases from any court to itself and can transfer cases from the high court to another one high court to another high court. So we know that there are a number of high courts are there. So Supreme Court can what you can say, transfer one case or number of cases. Okay, cannot say that only one case. Okay, any case. Okay, from one high court to another high court, one high court to another high court. So tell me, where the Kerala High Court situates? Kerala High Court.
Ernakulam.
Yeah, Ernakulam, correct answer. Okay, so this is the structure of courts in India. Structure of courts in India. The most important aspect, the core concept, it is it's a single integrated judicial system. Single integrated judicial system. Moving forward. Okay, jurisdiction of the Supreme Court. Okay, what do you mean with the name jurisdiction? Area under control. Area under the control of the court. Okay, here it is, the jurisdiction of the Supreme Court. So we know that different courts have different jurisdictions. Okay, so subordinate court means a locality, district court that's district, particular district, high courts means the entire state, Supreme Court the entire country. Clear? Okay, so here the Supreme Court of India is one of the very powerful courts anywhere in the world. However, it functions within the limitations imposed by the Constitution. Clear or not? Okay, it is applicable for the Indians. The Constitution is very powerful, so the Supreme Court. However, it functions within the limitations imposed by the Constitution. So Supreme Court also wanted to function only within the framework of the Constitution of the country. It cannot take any extra decisions. The duty of the Supreme Court is just to interpret the Constitution and act as per the Constitution or within the framework of the Constitution. Okay, however, it functions within the limitations imposed by the Constitution. The functions and responsibility of the Supreme Court are defined by the Constitution. So, there's a particular part is there in the Constitution that over there we are able to find the functions for the Supreme Court there, so they cannot do anything more than that. So they have to act or they have to function related with the Constitution. The Supreme Court has specific jurisdiction or scope of powers. Okay, underline that. Supreme Court have their own specific jurisdiction or scope of powers. Okay, here it is, jurisdiction of Supreme Court of India. Okay, so original, appellate, advisory, clear. And the writs also are there. Special powers also are there for the Supreme Court. So what are the original powers of Supreme Court? Okay, so original jurisdiction of Supreme Court settles disputes between union and state and among the states there. So if there is a trouble between the or dispute between the state governments and the central government, Supreme Court will settle the dispute. Or what we can say, dispute between the states. That also the responsibility of the Supreme Court to settle the cases. So that kind of cases will coming under the jurisdiction of the Supreme Court. The case between the state government and the Supreme Court, sorry, central government, or the problems between the disputes between the states, everything is coming under the jurisdiction of the Supreme Court. Next one, it is acting as an appellate authority. Tries appeals from lower courts in civil, criminal, and constitutional cases. Okay. So if we are not happy with the judgment that provided by the subordinate court, district court, or high court, we are free to give appeal in the Supreme Court. Clear or not? Clear. If you are not happy with that, we thinking that justice is denied for we people, so we can approach the Supreme Court. So Supreme Court is acting as a appellate authority. Appellate authority. So tries appeals from the lower courts in civil cases, criminal cases, or constitutional cases. Okay, what if it is constitutional cases? Sometimes the rules and regulations in the Constitution will create some problems. Okay, understand the problem in the sense, the problem related with the interpretation. Okay, so junior courts will fail in that to interpret that meaning of that particular rule. So Supreme Court will interfere in that and they will give the clear, what you can say, interpretation. So that is the final authority. So what the interpretation they are giving, that is considering as the final one. Okay, understanding or not? Okay, next one, advisory. Okay, advisory jurisdiction here. Advises the president on matters of public importance and law. Okay, so president can take the advice of the Supreme Court related with the issues. What kind of issues? Public importance, issues with the public importance and the law law. Okay, so if there is any problem facing with the country government, it is the responsibility of the Supreme Court to give advices to whom? Advices to the President of India. President of India. All right. Next one, it can pass writs also. We know that. Okay, the Supreme Court can issue writs. Okay, the power is there all over the country. Okay, it can writ. Okay, issue writs like the habeas corpus, mandamus, prohibition, certiorari, quo warranto. Okay, these are the writs. So we know that there are different meanings are there for this writs there. Okay, we already studied this meaning of this writs in the chapter right there. Just take that page. Okay, what are the different types of writs that can be published by the Supreme Court or issued by the Supreme Court? Tell me the page number, please. Fast, check it. Rights in the new Constitution. Got that? Okay, page number 41. I got it. 41, check it. Page number 41. Open the page and check that. The meaning of different writs there and why these writs. Okay, the writs basically is to protect the fundamental rights. Okay, understand writs are there. It can be issued by the High Court or the Supreme Court. Basically, the Supreme Court can issue almost all these writs there. I mean, entire writs, I mean the five in number. What are they? First of all, you can see that it is habeas corpus. Habeas corpus. What is the meaning of that writ? Okay, so remember, it's an important question for the examination. A writ of habeas corpus means that the court orders that the arrested person should be presented before it. So already we know that a case is the arbitrary arrest or a preventive detention. Preventive detention. In such cases, the family members or relatives of the person, those who are arrested by the police, can go for this kind of writ. They can give a petition in the Supreme Court or the High Court to produce or to issue this writ called the habeas corpus. Okay, so what the meaning? It can also order to set free an arrested person if the manner or grounds of arrest are not lawful or satisfactory. Okay, if the grounds of that arrest is not good or it is not satisfactory for the court can give the order. What that? Bring the person before the road or before the court, not road, before the court, or set him free. Clear? Let it be. Next one, mandamus. Here you can see habeas corpus. Next one, mandamus. Mandamus. What is mandamus? Okay, this is a writ issued when the court finds that a particular office holder is not doing legal duty and thereby is infringing on the right of an individual. So officer is not doing his duty properly. Okay, so he's creating, without doing his duty properly and creating trouble for the persons or the individuals in the society. Okay, so the Supreme Court can ask or High Court can ask him to do the work properly. Okay, that is called to be mandamus. Prohibition. Next one. This writ is issued by a High Court or the Supreme Court when a lower court has considered a case going beyond its jurisdiction. Okay, so a lower court is handling a case beyond its jurisdiction. That time, the Supreme Court or High Court can issue this writ, okay, asking them to transfer the case to the High Court or the Supreme Court. Okay, that's what. Prohibition, asking them to stop the activity. Quo warranto, if the court finds that person is holding office but is not entitled to hold that office. Okay, so one person is in power but there is no qualification for that individual to hold power, so the government can, I mean the Supreme Court can issue this writ to stop that person to exercise that particular power. Next one, certiorari. Certiorari. Clear? What is certiorari? Here it is. Under this writ, the court orders a lower court or another authority to transfer a matter pending before it to High Courts or the Supreme Court. Okay, that's what a quo warranto. Clear? Okay, so these are the writs. Okay, so writs are important for you people. So these are the powers of Supreme Court. Okay, so and their countries coming under the jurisdiction of the Supreme Court, and their functions are there with the original one. Appellate authority, it is giving advices to the president, and it is able to, or it can issue writs there, and some special powers also are there. Can grant special leave to an appeal from any judgment or matter passed by any court in the territory of India. Okay. Clear or not? Stay. That's what. Okay. Clear. The power is there for the Supreme Court to stop some activities of the government or any individuals or any organizations. Okay. Some such kind of special powers also are there for the Supreme Court of India. Hope this ideas is clear. Ideas are clear, right? Yes or no? Check it one more time. So what are the jurisdiction of Supreme Court of India? Okay, original powers are there, appellate powers are there, advisory is working as an advisory within the country. It can issue the writs there, and some more special powers also are there for the Supreme Court. Okay, and here we are discussing one by one here. What do you mean by the original jurisdiction of the Supreme Court? Original jurisdiction. Okay, so original powers. Okay, here original jurisdiction means cases that can be directly considered by the Supreme Court. Okay, like any other court, we are able to give a direct case in the, I mean, direct petition in the Supreme Court also. Okay, so the original jurisdiction means cases that can be directly considered by the Supreme Court without going to the lower courts before that. Okay, clear or not? Directly we can go to the Supreme Court. From the diagram above, we already discussed that. We can we notice that cases involving federal relation go directly to the Supreme Court. Okay, the issues between the state and the central government and issues between the states. Okay, so the original jurisdiction of the Supreme Court establishes It has an umpire in all disputes regarding federal matters. So Supreme Court is acting as an umpire, right? A referee to solve the problem between the states or the problem between the central government and the state government by using the constitution provisions. Clear? Hello, can you understand? Are you able to follow these things there? The things are clear or not? So what do you mean by the original jurisdiction of the Supreme Court means Supreme Court can handle the cases directly, right or not? Okay, if you want to give a petition in the Supreme Court or related with any issues, we want to give a petition, we can exclude or we can leave this subordinate courts, district courts, or high courts directly. We can approach the Supreme Court. One thing. All right. Next one, the Supreme Court is considering as a referee, okay, or functioning as a referee to solve the disputes between, okay, disputes between the state and the central government or different state governments. I already told you in the morning there are a number of disputes we are able to find there. Okay, so related with the Kerala Tamil Nadu issue on the Mullaperiyar Dam. Okay, Kerala Tamil Nadu Karnataka issue on the river water, Kaveri river water. Okay, issue Kaveri river water issues there between these three states there. So disputes are common. We are able to find it. So no high courts are able to solve these disputes there. So a problem is between Tamil Nadu and Kerala. Madras High Court or the Cochin, I mean, there Kerala High Court, they are unable. Madras High Court means the Tamil Nadu High Court, right? The Tamil Nadu High Court or the Kerala High Court is unable to take decision because it is beyond their jurisdiction, right? Okay, clear. So who want to take the decision here now? Huh? Clear, who want to take the decision? So you and your brother is fighting and you are giving the chance to your brother to take the decision. Means is that correct or not? Do you function properly? Huh? You fought with your brother. Finally, you give a chance to your brother to take the final decision on the ground. Okay, or on that particular incident that led to the fight. Okay, so he will give you impartial, what do we get, judgment? Never. So he will go for the third person, right or not? Right or not? That's what the Supreme Court here, a third one, clear or not? So the disputes between the states or dispute between the central government and the state, here Supreme Court is considering or it will function as an umpire. Okay, it's an umpire here. The original jurisdiction of the Supreme Court established it as an umpire in all disputes regarding federal matters. In any federal country, legal disputes here, federal matters in the sense the disputes between the central and the state. Okay, in any federal country, legal disputes are bound to arise between the union and the states and among the states themselves. The power to resolve such cases is entrusted to the Supreme Court of India. Land. It is called the original jurisdiction because the Supreme Court alone has the power to deal with such cases. So this is a question. Write a brief note on the original jurisdiction of the Supreme Court of India. Okay. It is called original jurisdiction because the Supreme Court alone has the power to deal with such cases. Neither, okay, so here it is called the original jurisdiction because the Supreme Court alone has the power to deal with its cases. Neither the high courts nor the lower courts can deal with each cases in this capacity. The Supreme Court not just settle the disputes but also interprets the powers of the union and the state government as laid down in the Constitution. Clear? Clear or not? So underline that. Neither the high court nor the lower courts can deal with such cases. Okay, why? It is beyond their jurisdiction. It is not under their control, basically speaking. So we can say it is not under their control. The Supreme Court not just settle disputes, but also interpret the powers of union and the state government. So it can interpret the powers of, it can give the meaning of the powers of the state government and the central government. And by this, it will solve the problem between the state and the central. Right? Clear? If it disputes, if any, it is a responsibility of the Supreme Court to solve that by interpreting the powers of the states and the central government. Okay. Next one, write a short out on the writ jurisdiction of the Supreme Court of India. Writ jurisdiction. Writs. Writs. How many are there? How many writs are there? Ashish. How many writs are there, Ashish?
3.
How many writs are there? Your answer is wrong. Amal Raj, how many are there?
So 5.
5 are there, Ashish. 5 writs are there. Okay, I told you to learn that properly. Okay, Elvina, tell me what are they?
habeas corpus,
Habeas corpus.
habeas corpus,
The sound. Okay,
and
come on.
habeas corpus,
Ah.
cryptoria,
Not psoriasis, certiorari. Listen carefully.
and quota varando,
It is not a quota warrando, co warrando.
covarando,
Then come on fast.
cryptorari, and
Ah,
covarando,
co warrando. And
and
what is the last one? Prohibition. What is that? Prohibition. Listen carefully. The pronunciations are important here. Okay. First of all, listen. Okay. Habeas corpus. What is that? Habeas corpus. Okay. Clear or not? Corpus. Okay. Habeas corpus. Next one. Certiorari. What is that? Certiorari. Certiorari. Mentamus. What is that? Mentamus. Okay. Co-warranto. What is that? Co-warranto. QO, right? Co-warranto. Next one. Prohibition. Clear. These are the writs. Habeas corpus, mandamus, certiorari, prohibition, co-warranto. Clear? Okay, fire writs. Want to know the meaning of all these writs there. Okay, so these writs are considered as the pillars to protect the rights, I mean, human rights or fundamental rights of individuals in the country, right? These writs protecting the people in the country, right? Clear or not? So political science students should and must want to understand or want to learn what are these writs and its importance. Clear? Okay, here it is. As we have already studied in this chapter, the fundamental rights, we studied that fundamental rights. So the chapter rights in the Indian Constitution, we studied about the fundamental right and the writs to protect the fundamental rights. So writ can be issued by the High Court or the Supreme Court, High Court or the Supreme Court. Now we are discussing about the writs here. Okay, so whose fundamental rights was being violated can directly move to the Supreme Court for remedy. So in any case, if we find that our fundamental right is violated, either individual or the government or other group of people or some other society, they violated it, they break it. So we can directly move to the Supreme Court for remedy, for the solution. The Supreme Court can give special orders in the form of writs. The high courts can also issue writs, but the persons whose rights are violated have the choice of either approaching the high court or approaching the Supreme Court directly. Clear? Through such writs, the court can give orders to the executive to act or not to act in a particular way. Clear? Clear? So the court can give an order to the executive to act or not to act. Clear? So before 2-3 weeks, we learned, and I mean, we read a news in the newspaper. Okay. What is that news related with this kind of constitutional trouble? Suicide. Hmm? No information related with that. No idea. Hmm? So it is something related with a group of people. I mean, the police department, along with the court, they came to seize a house. Clear? No, no information related with that. Hmm? And the house, what happened there?
parents has been,
Yeah.
they had got they tried to get a suicide, but when the policeman accidentally get
Try to
had
help them, but accidentally. Okay.
accidentally the parents got burnt.
Hmm. Fine. And they died also. Okay. Okay. Here, what happened there? That parents, I mean, that couples or that a particular individual, he applied for a stay in the court for that particular department. Okay, to get a stay to stop that activity of confiscation or making them away from that house. Okay, clear. The court ordered also. but they not received that judgment or that what we can say, a special order. Okay. So before that, the police department is acted. As a result of that, they lost their life. Clear or not? If you are waiting for half an hour, this kind of things will not happen. Clear? So just to clearly read that news and understand what happened there. Clear? So tomorrow I will ask again there. I had just to give some hints there, right? I'm not going to say the entire procedure there, what happened there. Just I give some hints for you people. Now it is your responsibility to observe that. Okay, get the information related with that particular incident and tell me tomorrow what happened here. What is the problem here? Okay, so the court is interfered properly or not, or it's delayed or not. Okay, tell me tomorrow. Okay, so just keep that idea with you. Okay, so that's also part of a kind of writ only. So the courts can block or stop some people or some executive do some activities. Okay, so court can give orders to executive or not to do something. Clear or not? It can say to do something, or sometimes it can say not to do that now. Okay, clear? Okay, so humanitarian consideration will be there from the side of the courts there. That's what they are taking such kind of a decision or issuing such kind of writs there. So it is important. Human rights are more important, right? Okay, now here, appellate jurisdiction. The Supreme Court is the highest court of appeal. A person can appeal to the Supreme Court against the decision of the High Court. Clear? Underline. The Supreme Court is considering as the highest court of appeal. There is no what we can say, controversy in that. A person can appeal to the Supreme Court against the decision of the High Court. So the High Court judge give a decree or the judgment that is not good for you. You in the sense the person those who give the complaint, clear or not, or those the person those who considering as the culprit. Okay, the judgment is not accurate, not correct. Okay, so it's not the fair trial. Okay, if you're thinking so, we are able to go to the Supreme Court with an appeal there. However, High Court must certify that the case is fit for appeal. That is to say that it involves a serious matters of interpretation of law or constitution. Okay, so here High Court must certify that the case is fit for appeal. Okay, High Court want to give the grant to go for the appeal. In most of the cases, they will give it. Okay, that is to say that it involves a serious matter of interpretation of law or constitution, because High Court's judges also they are experienced, right? Clear or not? Because of that they are making or they are giving such kind of a judgment or a decree there. So again we are going to appeal in the sense it is something or creating some serious interpretation of serious matter of interpretation or giving new meaning for the rules and regulations there. Okay, in addition, in criminal cases, if the lower court has sentenced a person to death, then an appeal can be made to the High Court or Supreme Court. Okay, so district court, okay, sentenced a person to death. Okay, give a capital punishment to that individual because of the intensity of the crime that man committed. Clear or not? Intensity of crime. Okay, most brutal type of murder. Today, if you're observing, so we can understand that the courts will not give this kind of capital punishment for some cases there. So the court came to know that the condition is too brutal. Okay, and the man committed very brutal and what we can say unjusticiable offense. That time only the court will give the capital punishment. Clear? So the person, those who sentenced for capital punishment for death penalty, also can go for an appeal in the Supreme Court to escape from that. Okay. Of course, the Supreme Court hold the powers to decide whether to admit appeals even when appeal is not allowed by the High Court. Okay. If the Supreme Court is the appellate authority, they can decide on to accept that appeal or not. If the Supreme Court granted for appeal also or allowed for appeal also, it is the discretionary power of the Supreme Court to accept that appeal or not. Clear or not? So, what you can say is serious killer. Okay, he killed 51 people. Okay, and the district court give the judgment. What is that? But the judgment. Okay, or give a penalty to that person. What is that? A capital punishment, death penalty. Is he go for an appeal? Is able to go for an appeal? He can do it or not? Tell me. What is that? A serious killer killed 51 people, right or not? Okay, the case came to the power or under the control of the, what we can say, the district court. District court. Okay, so district court give the punishment. What is that punishment? The district criminal court give the punishment. What is that? Okay, death penalty, capital punishment. Is that person is eligible to go for an appeal to the High Court or the Supreme Court? Can he go or not?
Yes.
Yes or no? Tell me. Yeah, I should have told yes. Any other answers are there? We studied already one thing in rights there. What is that? Whoever he is, human rights should be protected, right or not? Right or not? What is that? Whoever he is, what kind of crime he committed, that doesn't matter. Human rights first wanted to be consider that person as a human, so he has the same right to go for an appeal in the High Court or the Supreme Court. There they will decide want to accept it or not, right? Understanding or not? Clear or not? Can go for an appeal. There is no problem in that, but the Supreme Court will decide what to do. Okay, clear or not? So just keep that idea in your mind there. See here, of course, the Supreme Court holds the powers to decide whether to admit appeals even when appeal is not allowed by the High Court. Okay. Appellate jurisdiction means that the Supreme Court will reconsider the case and the legal issues involved in it. So, what is the responsibility of the Supreme Court? Supreme Court will reconsider the case. Again, trial will be there. Supreme Court will observe all these activities that related with that crime. Okay, and the High Court's activities later only the Supreme Court will take a decision. If the court thinks that the law or the constitution has a different meaning from what the lower courts understood, then Supreme Court will change the ruling and along with that also give a new interpretation of the provision involved. So the Supreme Court came to know that, or Supreme Court is able to understand or came to analyze the problem that the lower court interpretation is not correct in that matter. The Supreme Court can give a new interpretation, new meaning. Clear or not? Understanding or not? So listen carefully. So we are able to make interpretation of laws. Interpretation. What do you mean interpretation? Meanings. Each and every sentence have meanings there, right or not? Clear or not? So each comma, punctuation mark, everything is important in law. Clear? Hmm? Yes or no? Fine. So for example, I can do one thing. Okay. Okay. So can you read here? Okay. So a person approached the court, okay, to escape from the death penalty. Clear or not? The court issued an order to kill him. Clear or not? And he went to the court, and after a long trial, the court reconsidered his case and give a new judgment. What is that? Kill him not, let him go. Clear or not? He's in jail. Clear? So he already got that judgment. What is that? Judgment from the court. Okay. Kill him, right? But he went for an appeal. The higher court give another judgment. What is that? Kill him not, let him go. Okay. What is that? Don't kill him, let him go from the prison. Okay. That's what the judgment. But it was a typing error. Okay. What happened here? This punctuation mark changed to here. What will happen? What will happen here? Tell me. What will happen?
The person would get
Killed anyway. What is that here? Kill him, not let him go. Understand? Meaning changes that entirely. Clear or not? Okay. What is that judgment? First case, what we get? What is that? The first case, kill him not. Okay. Let him go. No problem. So second case, okay, kill him, not let him go. So interpretations Okay, each lines we are able to interpret in the law, right or not? Clear or not? So new meanings we are able to give sometimes. This is for an example. I told that. Anyway, this kind of things are not there in the constitution, right or not? The punctuation problems. Okay, let it be. Okay, for example, I told that this kind of problems we are able to see, we are able to find. Okay, clear. So number of such kind of cases are there. So here we are. Then the Supreme Court will change the ruling and along with that also give new interpretation of the provision involved. The High Court too have appellate jurisdiction over the decisions given by the courts below them. So High Court also have the same power. What is that power? Appellate authority. Okay, so district courts giving some meaning for that. If the the judgment. Okay, so if you are not happy with that, or we are feeling that the the judgment of the district court is not good for we people, so we can go for an appeal directly to the High Court or the Supreme Court, right? Clear. So we are stopping. Okay, so 3 classes completed today. So just read the textbook entirely. Okay, up to here. And tomorrow we'll start with the advisory jurisdiction. Clear. Okay, so writs are important for we people and the powers of the judiciary want to learn properly, and appointment and the removal of the judges, powers of executive and legislature related with the appointment and the removal of the judges also important. Clear. And the structure of the courts in India. Structure of the courts in India, like what is the structure here? It's a pyramidal one, right? Okay, subordinate courts, district courts, high courts, and the Supreme Court. So powers of each courts also want to learn properly, and the writs want to learn the scope and meaning of the writs. Okay, habeas corpus, mandamus, certiorari. Okay, Elvina, listening all these things. Okay, so don't worry, it's a error. Okay, let it be. So we will meet in the next class. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.